Hello everybody, welcome back to The People's Artist. Week 1 is complete and I did get some good work done. So today I'm going to walk you through the troubles and successes that I had this week and the steps moving forward. So I had this form built several years ago. It was a big 2-part form. There is photos on my People's Artist page of it, and making a mock-up with it to see if it would still work. And so I decided it was time to change it. At the time I didn't have all these clamps, so I had to make do with what I had, and that was the best way I could do it. Things changed, went back to school, all this stuff, and this piece got put down. I felt like this piece was a good opportunity for the competition. I just thought it was a good fit, so I decided to attempt it again. Now, what I had done is I removed the back half of the form and replaced it with this strap, compression strap. Basically, there's blocks on either end that trap the straight piece in place, and as you bend it, it fills out the strap and it stops the back fibers of the wood from stretching and cracking, or it helps prevent it anyways. I did get a small crack here, same spot as the old form. Now I think this was partly because of the knot, and I did manage to steam bend maple with what I was doing, so it gave me promise. Anyways, I drilled holes where the clamps were going to go. This gives purchase for the clamps, but it allows me to pivot the clamps in relation to the curve on the form, well, which is just necessary and really helpful. So here we have the lamp. Now, it's pretty basic shape. It's curved in all 4 sides, but what it is going to do is it's going to be hollowed out in here, and that's going to be done with a gouge. There's going to be a hole in the center to put the LED housing and the driver, and the wire will come out the back. This top will be curved as well, and it'll have a nice connection to the guide, the style and the guide. So it will just move something like this. A little bit more movement is what I want, but it'll do something like that. The style and the guide. Now, I was able to find a way to have a swivel in here, and that was done with a dowel as a pin and a mortise that is angled on either side. So you can see that it's larger on one side than the other. See that right with the lines I have drawn, and that basically just allows the room for the piece to move and pivot on that dowel. Now, Sitka spruce is soft, so I'm a little worried about one breakage and wear on the pin. So what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a piece of rosewood larger than this and do this mortise inside the rosewood. On the style, the tenon, this can be done by actually having a piece of brass inserted into the piece and having this tenon in brass and this pin in brass. So if you can try and imagine brass inside a nice dark red rosewood, would be pretty beautiful, I think. So that is those parts. Now that is where I'm at with the guide. Some things may change a little bit, but for now, I think that's the direction I can explore. The mount. This mounts the support to the wall. There's going to be 2 lamps, so I sort of see one curve on the right and one curve on the left, and I mean on each lamp. I sort of envision them on either side of a couch, right? And the thick part is where I need to mount a switch. So similar to a guitar body in the back where they have the cavities for the switches and the pots. that's how I'm gonna have to do that here, except I want a nice curve into it to give it some style. And this might not be so long on the other side. So there's gonna be 2 holes for bolts to prevent pivoting on the wall, and then 2 dowels or tenons now to press the lamp onto the mount. Now this has to be able to be removed so you can move it. And for that reason, I'm sort of thinking that some brass fittings to actually thread it and hold it onto the mount is more appropriate, because Sitka spruce again is soft and I don't want it to wear out over time, and if you push it on and pull it off a few times, it's going to get looser. Same with the seasonal changes. As things expand and contract, that'll get looser and tighter. And so I don't want it to be sloppy fit. So if I have to move to a brass fitting on that, then I'm okay with using brass on my work. For when it's appropriate, it's okay. So this piece is tapered. So it's tapered from the bottom up. So it's smaller at the top than at the bottom in both directions. I do that before steaming because it makes the bend easier, and trying to taper proper curve is really difficult to do because there's no way to check it with a straight edge, really. I mean, I can check it on a machine surface, but it's large. It just doesn't really work. So I have to do that first and do my best to keep that straight. So one of the other things that I need to work on this week is actually improving the steam method. So I'm doing it in the stovepipe right now, and it worked, but I think it can work a lot better with a thicker gauge steel for better insulation and more steam. So I've had a couple breakages in this spot, and at this point I think it is just purely not getting enough heat in the method that I'm using. So I'm going to adjust and try and make it perfect. So you can see that this form is what's being used to create the big shape. Now what's going to happen is when I take it out of the form after it's been steamed, it's going to spring back a little bit. Don't know how much. Different woods are going to give me different results, and what that's going to do is it's going to mean I have to make a form individually for the wood of the lamp. When it springs back, I need to be able to sit it up on my bench like this and work the shape, and I need support along the whole way. So I will have to make basically another one of these for each lamp, both for the front and the back. So I'm going to use a lot of wood just to be able to properly shape this piece. This is something that we were often taught at school. Simple's okay, as long as it doesn't look simple. So it's going to have to be very harmonious through the different parts, and be very well done. And at the end of the day, to do that, it's actually not simple at all. So this piece I think is a really good demonstration of that concept. So I have to make sure that through the mock-up, I'm happy with the way things look. I have to get the sizes and proportions to each part correct, which is going to take some more fiddling around, but I need a proper mock-up to do so that when I go into the real one, I know what to expect, and I know that where I can see myself going, I'm actually going to end up. So that's going to be interesting. So that is it for this week. It was a fun week. I enjoyed working this week, and I'm going to enjoy the next steps more. This is still the mock-up stage, so I don't want to show you me doing everything in the mock-up stage, because you'll have to watch it again, and I want you to see the nice attempt where I'm trying my hardest, and I am on the forms and stuff, but not on this, right? So I want to show you the best and make it interesting for the entire competition. Thank you to everybody that supported me through this and donated and voted, it's really cool. It appears I'm going to be moving forward at this point. Things could change, but I think I'm going to move forward. It looks like it will. Let's say that, and I'm extremely happy about that. So I want to keep this interesting and challenging and worthwhile. So the next steps for the week is to improve the steam method, and what I really want is I want to get a mock-up completed for the end of the first round. So I have something to show. This is what I'm going to build. This is how it works. And this is what you're going to watch me build till the end, really. So, yeah, thanks. And tune in next week to see what I've done.